I'm going to call the meeting of the Coos Bay Urban Renewal Agency to order. And our first item on the agenda tonight is public comments, and this is for folks who do not have anything to speak to that's already on the agenda. So is there anyone that would like to make a public comment? And Joe, I think you're going to speak on it. You're on the agenda, so. Yes. All right, then our next item is the consent calendar, and how would the agency like to proceed?
Move that we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a couple of seconds to approve the consent calendar. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. And our next item, this is where I would call up Joe Slack to give us an update on the improvement grant for 333 South 4th Street.
Thanks, folks. Good to see you all. We were wrapping up our grant at the end of last year and kind of taking care of the paperwork and the permits and whatnot. And I just expressed to city staff and Nicole how grateful we were that we were able to participate with the Urban Renewal program. And so I'll just give a quick little history, won't ramble on too much, and kind of tell you what we did and where we're at right now. So we bought the building, my wife Claudia and I bought it in 2016. If you remember, it was the state police office. They were there for a number of years. Before that was the BLM, and then before that, it's a little fuzzy, but outfit by the name of Murphy Motors built the building in 1958. It was an automobile dealership. Every once in a while I'll run into some old folks to say, hey, I remember driving a car there. But anyway, when we looked at it and we bought it, it had been abandoned for 10 years. And the condition of the building isn't all that dissimilar than the building you were describing down the street, the Penny's building with the leaky roof and whatnot. And so, again, it had been abandoned for about 10 years. There were briars coming up through the floor. There was nobody occupying it. There's about 27,000 square feet of building. Since then, a few years after we purchased it, we sold where Carmen is using it for storage for his business, which was about 5,000 square feet. So we have about 22,000 square feet, which is a lot more building than what we were looking for. Our company, HG Architects, was looking for an office space, and we only needed about 6 or 7 or 8, but we ended up with this 22,000 square feet of building. So we did some initial work. We re-roofed it back in 1994 when the state police did some remodel work to move in it. It was scheduled to be re-roofed. They never did it. The roof hadn't been done anything with it until we moved in. But the Urban Renewal Agency helped us with that initial move. We replaced all the windows on the exterior. We painted it. We replaced storefront and, of course, the roof. And then we spent considerable effort inside getting it ready for our office. So fast forward to last year, and the upstairs, about 3,500 square feet that we really had just kind of ignored. The mechanical system was shot. The finishes didn't work. The bathrooms were a mess. And we just kind of closed the door up there and ignored it. But we decided to move forward and make it whole. And so and right out of your urban renewal items that qualify, we dealt with ADA improvements. We replaced 2 bathrooms with single-user ADA compliant restrooms. We restored the elevator, which had been red tagged since the 90s. The state elevator inspector shut it down then. So 30 years later, we replaced all the machinery. The cab was intact, so that was a good thing. But so we have that working. Replaced the mechanical system, all the finishes, lighting, and it's whole now. And so we really are grateful for the program. I mean, it really is a urban renewal project. It's like fits it to a T. And so we're just really thankful. So when we bought it, there was nobody in it. And so now Seven Devils is in a portion that I mentioned earlier. DJ's Detail is in there. Bristol Event Center, which my wife runs, the event center in the summer and the boat and trailer storage in the winter. Red Moon Development is in there. Jane Stebbins Attorney. is in there, and Keller Williams, a real estate agent, they're upstairs, and then, of course, HGE Architects is in there. So it went from 0 to 7 businesses, and it's in downtown Coos Bay. You know, we walk where we eat and where we see professional other businesses, and so I'm just really thankful for it. I just kudos to the Urban Renewal Agency for all their help and support. Your funding equated to about 20% of the cost, so which is significant. There was also a small grant that was tagged on to the event center where we created this outdoor plaza, covered plaza area, and replaced some doors as well. So that's my little spiel. I just thank you all. If you want a tour, if you're interested at all, just reach out, and I'll give you a little nickel tour and walk you around the whole thing. No problem at all. So, any questions or anything?
I love the work that you've done there. I think it's beautiful, and I will take you up on the tour because I want to check out the event center.
Okay, yeah, do it. Good. Yeah, it's kind of cold in there right now.
I would love to see the interior, because I was there for your HG open house.
Oh, right.
And you hadn't done the upper floor, but I did get
Yeah,
to
we
see
hadn't
it,
even
so,
started, so
yeah.
it looks good. Couple things, the warehouse, when the state police were in there, they had that as an office space. It's the most depressing place for people to have to work with. Back deep in the bowels, no windows, and we just took out layer and layer and layer, dumpster load, and just basically peeled it all back to that big warehouse space. It's a gorgeous area. Keller Williamson, they're actually moving out. They're moving to a spot right on the highway. They wanted more walk-up presence. So if you know anybody looking, it's about 1,200 square feet plus a bunch of shared space, shared break room and the like. So yeah, it's been quite a project.
I just want to say, yes, I want the tour too.
Okay,
And,
very good.
I want to thank you for meeting the requirements of the agency and finishing your project on time. And it's so encouraging to hear that there are so many businesses that have been there. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Carmen, Joe, Drew, anything?
I'd just like to say thank you to Joe and Claudia for working hard and investing in downtown, and we're really happy to be able to help in any way possible. But just want to say thank you for really putting your hard-earned money and time into this community, and I can speak to the quality of work and design that HGE does. They've done a lot of projects for us, and we love having them as neighbors, and it's a great relationship. So thank you to you and Claudia and the whole team.
You're welcome. He's my neighbor.
Joe?
Yeah, Joe, I appreciate it, and just going to reiterate a lot of the comments, but I drove by that building, and it sat there for years and years and years, and I was so pleased when you decided to take it on and move your operation there and what you've done. And I just want to reiterate that, Urban Renewal can help make things happen. And, you would have done this eventually, but I think it helped spur it on and was able to get businesses there that wouldn't have necessarily been in the downtown area. So thank you for all your hard effort and work.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been good. Thank you, guys.
Yes. And thank you for coming back, both of you, to give us a report. I think we get to see pictures sometimes, and we get the report at the end of the year, but it's nice to hear from you and appreciate your investment in our community.
Chair Kilmer, can I ask the question of Nicole about the 260 South Broadway property, and if that has been shored up as far as payments and?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
It was able to be closed out and full payments issued for on that grant. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
All right. Any other questions or business to come before this body? Then I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.